You had people yelling about Donkey Kong.
So it was a new console with a new IP with a new game type.
Are we doing this to determine what was the best game in 2001, or are we determining what's the best game in 2001? Welcome back to the BroadBoys podcast. I'm Cade. This is Micah. Today, we went swimming.
And I said we weren't going to start with that.
Well, that's what. Well, just mentioning it. You know, we went swimming a bit.
We went swimming. It's a beautiful day.
And it was very. I pondered a lot when I was swimming today.
Yeah.
I was thinking a lot about not the people around me, not the water, not anything fun. I was thinking about games.
I know. You were talking about it in the pool.
I was. Well, I never sleep, you know, so when it comes to games, at least.
That's fair, yeah.
And I was thinking, I had a devious question, you could say. It's like something that I know will get you upset and me upset.
I'm prepared.
Okay, but I want to know what you think is the best console in terms of game catalog. That's what I want to know.
Okay. So I do have a twofold answer to that.
A twofold answer.
A twofold answer.
To what is the best game catalog?
Yeah. So here's the deal. My personal opinion is that if you want to go just solely based on the best games in a catalog, I think PS3 probably has that.
Okay.
However,
are you counting cross-platform as well?
Yeah, I'm counting, like, the cross-platform catalog goes both ways.
Okay.
However, I would say Xbox.
The original Xbox?
No, 360.
360?
Sorry, yeah, Xbox 360. Maybe Xbox One has an edge out on just volume of game choice.
Okay, please name some games that makes you think that.
I think the trouble is the games that I would immediately reference are also on PlayStation.
Yeah, so give me something different, you know? You're saying this game
The problem is there isn't many Xbox exclusives.
Exactly. So why are you saying that?
I don't know, cuz I just don't like the PlayStation Network.
In terms of game exclusives,
As far as exclusives go,
yes.
PlayStation has it. 100%, my opinion.
PlayStation 3.
Yeah, cuz you got The Last of Us. You've got, between PS2 ports to PS3 and PS3, you've got almost all of Uncharted.
Okay.
You've got the Spider-Man games.
PS3?
Well, that'd be PS4.
Yeah.
Well, the first one was PS3, wasn't it?
No.
Was it not?
No, it was PS4.
Goodness.
Nope.
Goodness.
Oh, but you're giving a bad answer right now.
I know.
Yeah, all right.
No, I'll still take PS3 with The Last of Us and Uncharted and the whole plethora of cross-platform. That'll be my answers.
You should not say cross-platform at all, is what I would say. I would say the cross-platform is weak, you know, in this argument.
What do you mean? You've got COD, you've got...
Yeah, but your competitors have that too, so why would you say PS3 is the best for having Black Ops 2?
Because it's already better.
No, it's not. You rank it based off exclusives.
Okay, well, yeah, PlayStation's always had the best exclusives.
No. Nintendo's always had the best exclusives. Nintendo's always had the best exclusives.
Yeah, but do they have any cross-platforms?
No.
No, so then they don't even have something that they're, like, competitive.
Well, it depends. They've got about half of them. But in terms of your next-gen stuff, they don't have.
But look at your full catalog then.
Yeah, sure.
Like, obviously you argue, and that's why I was saying twofold, like Xbox, PlayStation, right? But if you look at both of them, PlayStation has better exclusives. But they share almost all the same cross-platform stuff.
Okay.
Nintendo's over here, yeah, it's mostly exclusive IP. But you don't have anything else. If you don't like Mario or Nintendo games, that is not it. And there's a grand amount of people who that is not it for.
Okay, well, what do you mean by Nintendo games? Because Nintendo games are so many different genres, so what are you saying? Well, are you talking about people that don't want the best, like, they don't want to see the hair follicles coming off of a sweatshirt when they're being taken off? What are you talking about? Like, you're talking about next...
What are you talking about?
All right, because...
What are you talking about?
Because if Nintendo doesn't have the next-gen stuff, right, I think that's completely fine. I still think that...
Okay, but which Nintendo console?
Okay. This is tough, right? I'm tempted to say Switch, if I'm being honest. I think Switch has had an insane library.
Switch has a lot of the old ones. I will say, if any of them goes for it, Switch might be it.
Or GameCube. I would say GameCube's up there.
GameCube's a lot of fun, but the catalog wasn't. I know it's big, but it's not like the.
The quality of the games is what really shoots up that console.
Okay, well, goodness, so handheld.
Oh, if we're counting handhelds now. Okay.
Steam Deck.
No.
Why?
Okay, so
you can play a good 30% of games on Steam, and you have the ability to port anything in that you want. Like as long as the thing can run it, you can play it.
Okay, so we're talking official means.
Okay.
Official means. Okay. First of all,
you got about 30% of the Steam library.
Yes.
Including a lot of larger games that have been modified to run on it.
Okay.
So
your answer is Steam Deck then?
Well, if we're going handhelds, if it's Switch versus Steam Deck, the Steam Deck because one.
Well, Switch is a hybrid console, so it's still a console.
Well, yeah, but I can plug my Steam Deck into my TV.
Yeah, that's true. That's true too.
Nothing stops me from doing that.
That's true as well. I didn't think about the Steam Deck angle, but excluding that, I think it's the Switch.
Well, no, because no. If we're excluding Steam Deck, I think we have to exclude the Switch from that combo.
Why?
Because it's a hybrid console.
Okay, but it's the company's main console that they are putting their catalog into.
Okay,
the Steam Deck is a catalyst.
That's just a naming convention then.
The Steam Deck is just a catalyst for the Steam library.
Yeah, but it's handheld.
Okay.
And you can put it on your TV, and you can connect a controller to it.
I don't know. Saying that it's like, I wouldn't say it's a mainline console though.
Oh, I don't know. Have you seen their sales?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
You could pretty much.
The Steam Deck's great. Don't get me wrong.
No, I know. But I think if you're keeping it to what's there, I don't know that I would call Switch.
You wouldn't call the Switch a console.
Not if we're not calling the Steam Deck a console.
Well, I see. Well, the Steam Deck, games weren't made for the Steam Deck though.
Well, plenty have been.
Games are optimized for Steam Deck later on, but they're not made for the Steam Deck. Right?
So you're saying it's made for is what makes it a console?
No, I think that what makes it a console. All right. Okay. I knew this was going to get me upset, but this is all right. The Steam Deck is just an alternate way to play computer games, right?
Well, fine, yeah.
So
that's fair.
What is Valve doing for the Steam Deck? What is Valve making for the Steam Deck?
Controllers.
Steam Deck controller. So would you say that a PlayStation 3 game that gets put on the PlayStation 4 is also a PlayStation 4 game?
Well, yeah, it's in the library. It's in the catalog.
And you would count it as that console had the best, if you were counting it towards a library's merit.
There are games on the PS1 that were never ported forward, right? So you can't say that PS1 game is in the catalog of a PS4 game. In the catalog of PS4.
Okay.
But there are definitely games that have been. And so, to your credit there, the Switch does have a lot of older content ported forward.
That's not even what I'm thinking about when I'm thinking about the Switch's library. Well, that doesn't even cross my mind.
Which one are you thinking about?
I'm thinking about mainline 3D Mario, 3D Mario All-Stars, Mario Wonder, you got Zelda, you got Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild, Link's Awakening remake, this new one where you're playing as Zelda.
The trouble with all of those...
I just said 2 series, by the way.
Very similar style.
No, they are not, first of all. All right, you're dumb. First of all... Those are just Mario and Zelda.
Yeah.
You got Pokemon, you got Pikmin, you got Fire Emblem. Those are your strategy games. Those are your resource management games. Your RTS, Pikmin's an RTS.
Yep. I hear what you're saying.
You got Pokemon Unite,
I hear what you're saying.
You got your MOBA.
But what if I want something that doesn't look like a cartoon?
That's fine. They have other games too, there's Assassin's Creed 4. I don't know why that. I don't know why the bad Assassin's Creed 3 port came to mind first. But
there are a lot of really bad ports for the Switch.
Yes, there are a lot of cloud versions. Yeah. But no, I mean it just. Well, all right. There's a lot of games that don't have the cartoony art style that are on the Switch. They're just not mainline Nintendo games.
Yeah, I guess that I think that's fair if you include those in it. I think the trouble is just the Nintendo style doesn't vibe with me.
Okay.
Which
good games.
Good games.
Yeah.
As someone who plays on PC, I have plenty of choices of other games that fit my aesthetic.
Yeah.
So,
I'm very happy for you.
Yeah.
But you discredit the game based on the art style.
No. I'm not discrediting the game based on the art style. It's just wide genre of appeal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Nintendo's the widest genre of appeal you can get to because it's for all ages. It's family fun.
Family fun. That's fair.
But also providing deep challenges in other games.
I think the Switch is a great console. There are definitely downsides. Like, we can start getting into the logistics and the specs of each console.
Yeah.
The stick drift on Switch is pretty crazy.
Yeah, if you're using Joy-Cons.
Yeah, you got to rebuy them fairly frequently.
Well, they'll replace them for free, but
now. Or have
they have for years, but it takes a while, and they make the process difficult on purpose. But
okay.
Yeah.
No,
that's a fair point to make, but I'm talking about game catalog. I'm not talking about the hardware.
Well, I know, but like, as far as game catalog goes, like, some of my favorite games are The Last of Us, are the Uncharted series.
Yep. Sure.
Like, I think PlayStation exclusives. I'm not gonna say what I was about to say because that's totally wrong. But
dang it.
You know what? I think I'm going to give up because I think based on cultural significance, based on worldwide appeal, I would say that the Switch probably has it.
Okay. I was going to say, though, PS3 is definitely the second place. I think PS3 is second place.
If you are someone who does not feel the Nintendo pull, I think PS3 is probably your number one, which would be why I choose it. But I think, looking objectively here, the Switch probably has the largest global appeal.
A lot of different genres of games.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, I own a Switch, which is something to say because I don't own a PS3 currently. So
I mean, it's going to cost you a ton of money nowadays.
I know.
You might as well just emulate.
I know.
But PS3 emulators are a bit tricky. Not as bad as Xbox 360.
I don't know. You can. There's a pretty neat one you can actually get for the Steam Deck.
Yeah, but it doesn't run the higher end games. Well, unless you get the maxed out Steam Deck.
Yeah, you have to get the maxed out Steam Deck for it. But to have a portable hybrid console that plays PS3, PS2,
pretty sweet.
That is pretty sweet.
The wonders of emulation.
I know, and I will say, like, for anyone who wants to go through the work, Steam Deck is probably the ideal platform for you. Short of buying a mini PC or something and creating that into some similar to what you've done. But.
Yeah, I'm still hung up on this. Is the Steam Deck a console? Because I guess it technically is, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it's a handheld. I've never really thought of it that way. It's to me I just see it as an alternate way to play
PC games.
PC
games. I get that. I do. The trouble is a lot of PC games are designed to play like console games.
Yeah, because
you can plug it in your TV. You can
cross-platform stuff like that.
Yeah,
I've never thought of it that way. I'll need to think about that. That'll keep me up.
Like, there aren't any. I think any game on a console can be very easily played on a PC, but not every PC game could be played on a console.
Yes.
Because obviously on PC you can use the controller.
Have you played Baldur's Gate on the controller? Have you done that before?
Oh gosh.
It's pretty rough.
It's pretty rough. I opened it once with it. That's pretty rough.
Sorry, Baldur's Gate controller fans, but
the radial wheel's nice. That is nice, not having to do the hotkeys or anything.
I was surprised they even went for it. A Larian game with on controller sounds painful.
From the things I've seen people playing it looks painful.
Yeah. But I mean, there's a lot. I mean, when we include PC, I mean, that sweeps because it has everything.
Yeah. Except the price. Obviously, PC gets expensive.
Yeah. If you had to buy a console and you wanted the most out of your library right now, you'd definitely go for the Switch, not the PS5. That's for sure. In terms of exclusives.
Goodness, no.
What happened? Where it's PS3 era. They're pumping out lots and lots of exclusives, and Xbox 360 even had a lot of exclusives.
I know. Yeah.
And now both systems seem to be taking it a bit slower on the exclusives.
It's because exclusives don't get you as many customers as they used to.
Yeah, but the big series will. I think.
Well, yeah, but people see it as cash grabs now. What would you say if they came out with another Uncharted game right now after finishing the story, wrapping it up?
I'm like, sweet, I want to play that.
That's very interesting. There are a lot of people who would say it's supposed to be done at this point.
we'll do it with a new character or
I mean,
a
that's
sequel
fair.
series.
Just do it in the same world.
Not Nathan Drake.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like like the Gears of War prequel or whatever and stuff like, and especially with Xbox, they're buying up all these companies.
So
and they're out pumping them out fast.
I think the big thing is they're still doing it. The problem is new IP is risky, and old IP to sell well takes years of development between each game. Mm-hmm. And so it might just be a money thing where they're afraid to put a lot of effort into a new IP just to see it fail.
Yeah. But I mean, they bought
which credit new to Nintendo there for doing new IP all the time, but
yeah, and they have a pretty good game cycle and they know what the industry is. That's why they're on on top, but they're up there.
No, they know exactly what they're doing. Mm-hmm. I just still don't super like them as a company, but that's fine.
That's okay. I think you can completely fairly criticize their company choices.
They make great games. It's
in
fine.
terms of how they interact with fans.
Yeah.
I think the way that they treat their employees and the way that they treat their IPs, besides Donkey Kong, is great.
That's fair.
Still upset about that.
And I will say Microsoft doesn't have to because they have Game Pass.
Yeah.
And so
their strategy is buy up all the other companies.
Buy up everything
and then put it on Game Pass.
Exactly. They don't need it.
They don't make games. They don't make games anymore.
No, they just buy other people's games and keep them updated.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably gonna work a bit because that new Doom's coming out.
That's true.
It has worked, but it's been falling off.
Yeah, I mean they do promote their new IP, their new sequel games super heavily every single time.
And it's always day one on Game Pass and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it just runs into the problem other streaming services have, where, if I'm gonna get like Peacock, I'm gonna buy for a month, watch what I want, and then put it away.
Yeah. The big thing is, as long as they keep their monthly price lower than the costs of someone wanting to buy the game outright, they're not gonna struggle for customers, right? The reason why, like, you look back at Blockbuster or even Netflix DVD or Redbox, all of those things completely got destroyed because the cost of renting a DVD was more expensive than the monthly cost to have a full library of streaming,
Yeah, and we're about to get that with streaming anyway.
Yeah.
But then where do we go from here? Because I doubt people go back to physical.
Flash drives.
No, there's no way.
Well, I don't know. Have you seen the new DVDs that can hold like terabyte?
Yeah, but then you can't put it on the shelf. People like putting stuff on the shelf.
Well, you can put a DVD on a shelf.
Yeah, but where are you going to label it if it has terabytes of information?
I don't know.
Volume 1.
Yeah, volume 1 of my life. Jeez, like that's a lot of data.
Yeah, it's so much, and I mean people like seeing it, and they like, especially with movies, they like seeing it on the shelf or as an icon and be like, oh, that's what I'm buying.
Yeah,
or that's what I'm watching.
Yeah, you buy like that was the big appeal of like having a VHS is you have all the edges of your VHS that you can look at it and pluck through them and.
And that is the thing I miss about physical games too, if I'm being honest.
I agree.
Just seeing it take up space.
Yeah.
My Steam library, as large as it may be,
it doesn't
take up much space.
I know. Like being able to flip through like your discs or your drives or whatever you have for your console. And
there's something special about touching it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
makes it feel a bit realer.
Yeah, but now they charge you more to have a CD spot in your console.
I know. It's just more space taken up in the console where it could be going to a bigger hard drive, I guess. But it's pretty, I don't know. I mean, there's already there was a big retro push like 10 years ago. And so I wouldn't be surprised if another one happens soon. Well, now there's all the like, I modded my Game Boy or I modded my Wii.
I would not be surprised if we saw revitalized versions of these older handhelds. I mean, people want handhelds again. Mm-hmm. And it's showing up because, people are moving away from large iPads. Everyone wants something better. And so why not? It seems reasonable to go from a Switch to more Game Boy-esque. Yeah.
I mean, I think the 3DS is going to be the big thing people are at.
The 3DS would be super cool to have.
The modding scene's already big.
Yeah, but have a modern resale of them.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that's something any of the big three at least would ever do.
No, but
I mean they've done like the SNES Mini and stuff like that where it has like 30 games.
Well, then you just need a new company to come in with a new portable handheld, like true handheld, right? Like
who's gonna do that?
Well, I don't know. That's why it's like new small company. Did you see the guy who made Oculus, who sold it to Meta,
Yeah.
is coming back to build a new VR headset himself?
A new VR headset?
Yes.
See, and that's maybe that's where it goes in the future. People will be missing the digital games. They're like, oh man, we just got my VR games. I want to feel retro, and then they go sit at their computer instead of plugging in their head into the Neuralink.
It's definitely probably a little ways away still, just with how the Apple Visions failed miserably.
Well, I don't think the Apple Vision was doing anything in terms of gaming.
No, it wasn't. It was more of just
of how people were responding to AR technology. Yep. Well, no one's really shown how it can be different than just having your phone.
Yeah, well, I think no one really wants to wear a toaster on their face. I think
people would wear the toaster if it gave more application.
I think they would take less features if it was in just like the size of glasses.
Well, didn't the Google Glass happen?
Well, yeah, but it was really clunky and slow.
So if Apple did like an Apple Glass,
yeah,
you think that'd be more successful?
Yeah, that's what everyone wanted, like Apple fan base. They just wanted AR glasses.
Okay.
Instead, they got a toaster that.
Well, they got a VR headset.
Yeah, they got a VR headset.
I mean, that
cost 4 iPads.
Yes.
Plus $300.
The price is pretty. The price for the amount of stuff you get that's different is pretty abysmal. Yeah. Though I want to see it I want to see it get cooler.
Oh, I do too.
But I think the products that they're putting out now and the audience responses, I think it's going to be another money thing where it's like, oh, it's too risky to do AR technology or VR technology.
But AR is like where it's at. Like even leave gaming, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like AR technology is where it's at. Imagine walking to, I don't know, you could have dealerships that are pop-up dealerships. So instead of having all the cars everywhere, you can put on your AR glasses and physically just like peruse vehicles.
Okay, yeah.
That's just like a completely separate
you meant car dealerships.
Yeah, like car dealerships.
Oh, okay.
What did you think I meant?
I thought you were talking about like a drug deal or something. I mean, it wouldn't make it more. It would be less suspicious. It'd be more practical.
Yes, I would like a ounce of cocaine, please.
Yeah, I mean, you're just swiping through.
Yeah.
I mean,
just some guy gives you a pair of glasses on the street.
I mean, the cops are just going to see you wearing something. You're fine. You're good. Sorry, I misinterpreted that by a mile.
You did. It's okay, though.
I don't know. I mean, I could see... I don't know. You ever watched Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yeah.
I don't know why, but when I think of AR, I think like that'd be cool. You know, when you play the cards and they pop up in real life.
Dude, just imagine walking around and you see someone else and you challenge them.
All right, don't get me wrong. If you're an outsider, that's probably the stupidest thing you could possibly see. Is two people wearing the arm.
Yeah.
The arm disc, the dual disc.
Yeah.
And you know they're going to be like, it's my turn. I'm playing Dark Magician.
Yep.
You know, oh my gosh. That would be very cringe. But
it'd be really cool.
It'd be really cool if you're in it. And I think there are ways you can take that idea and use it in other ways to be even cooler.
Yeah,
like, or
absolutely.
Even I think Pokemon Go with AR they had the AR on the phone.
Yeah, they did.
But if you're just wearing something, you get like a little notification.
Yeah,
it's like, hey, this is a stop.
You could gamify your life.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing, but
no, I need all the dark patterns in every single moment.
Freaking epic.
I'm living. I want to hear coin get sounds as I'm brushing my teeth. Make sure I'm doing it right.
Ding.
Yep. That's what I need. Yeah. Well, all that to say, Switch is probably the best console ever.
Yeah. But if you don't like Nintendo, it's probably PS3.
Yeah.
But if you have your opinions, please put them in the comments.
And then, if you're going retro, I think GameCube or Super Nintendo
GameCube is so good.
In terms of library?
Yes.
Yep. Had a killer library.
Yes.
So Calibur 2 with Link.
As a kid, GameCube was my jam.
Yeah.
Atari was my jam.
Atari 2600. What consoles did you even grow up with?
Atari.
Like that was the first thing you interacted with?
Yeah, that was the first console I used.
And what'd you play?
Dude, there was the cartridges, and you blew them out if they weren't working.
Yeah.
And the ones I distinctly remember was Pong. There was one where you swung on a vine
Pitfall.
over the Pitfall. That's the one.
Yeah.
Then there was one that was multiplayer, so you had someone else with their boxy joystick, and you were one guy with a gun moving up and down trying to shoot the other guy on the other side.
Cowboys?
Something like that, yeah.
I think there's an arcade version of that.
Then Asteroids?
Yeah.
Yep. And then the other one was this really retro racing game. And I can't remember what it was called. Oh, Pac-Man, too.
Yeah, Pac-Man.
Pac-Man.
That's crazy. That's older than when I started. I started with a Super Nintendo. I clearly remember in my parents' bedroom that had a CRT in the corner.
Yeah.
And it was like right next to the ceiling.
Yeah.
And so I had to and I was a kid, so I had to really look straight up because the controllers only went so long.
It was in my grandma's kitchen. She had a TV at the table. And so after dinner, we would pull out the big Atari box and slap it down and plug it into the TV, and my brother and I would play Atari.
Did you beat any games? Or can you... Well, those games you don't necessarily beat.
You can't really beat it. The ones that... I mean, you can. You just play through till it stops.
Yeah. Because I remember, back in the day... I mean, and that's... you're a kid, you interact with games differently. But, when I beat Super Mario World, and I beat Donkey Kong Country, and that game made me cry as a kid.
Really?
It's hard. It's still hard. I mean, it's not as hard anymore. Donkey Kong Country 2 is probably harder, but Donkey Kong Country was still hard, especially as a kid. I mean, I beat that at 7.
So you started on the N64.
Super Nintendo.
Super Nintendo, sorry.
Though I did have an N64 adjacent to that. Well, but it's so interesting thing about games we played when we were younger, because we interact with games so much differently than we do now.
That's true.
We play a game now and we kind of just run through it, and we we enjoy it. We stop and we smell the roses.
I like to pull the merits out of games now. Back then, it could be a really crappy game, but I'd still.
But you love it.
I loved it. Yeah.
Yeah, I really liked the SpongeBob game on GameCube, Battle for Bikini Bottom. I still because I played it now, it probably leads me to believe that it is still a good game today, and I believe so. I do believe that. It got a remake, enough people liked it.
I did hear about the remake.
Enough people, and I bought the remake and I played the remake and I liked it. I like the original more, I would say, but because I grew up with it, you like it. You know?
Absolutely.
So, or even just playing harder games. When I beat Donkey Kong, that was insane. Or I beat Donkey Kong Country, and I would still go back to his house and check to see if I got the bananas back yet. And then I would go back up into Donkey Kong's room and pretend he was sulking that he didn't have his bananas yet. So it's that's the age that I beat that game at, which is still crazy to me.
That is crazy.
But, it's if we did that now, that'd be pretty...
That would be pretty weird.
It
would be.
So maybe I'll try it. In the games we play, we can't necessarily do that. You can't go into Elden Ring and go to the round table and be like, hey, what's up? Not much pretending going on.
No, not a whole lot of pretending going on.
But even racing games, you pretend Mario Kart had a first person mode or whatever. You could just pretend you're in it.
You are the kart driver.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So maybe we lost our whimsy. Maybe a little bit.
Growing old.
But maybe that's a good thing, if we're being honest.
It probably is.
I don't know if I could handle...
You can look at things more objectively.
Yeah. Good and bad.
Yeah,
pros and cons.
Yeah.
But yeah. Speaking of games we played when we were growing up, we have another year to look at.
Another year, 2001.
For Game of the Year.
Game of the Year. Now, you don't know what any of these are yet.
I don't know what got the awards.
Let's start with the BAFTAs.
Our favorite British game
for
award.
console, handheld, and PC.
Yep.
So, console, Gran Turismo 3.
Okay. Gran Turismo continued to push racing.
Yep.
And
that was
cool.
PS2. I don't know if it was on anything else.
It's probably just PS2.
I think it's just PS2 because it's a Sony game.
Yep.
Handheld, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2.
On handheld.
Yeah, for handheld, which is funny because it came out in 2000 for the PlayStation.
They ported it to the GBA.
Yep.
There you go.
And then they gave it Game of the Year.
Okay.
Whatever. Yeah, Game Boy Color and Dreamcast in 2001. And Microsoft Windows.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Those aren't handhelds, but
No, but
gotcha.
you got it. And then for PC was the original Max Payne.
Okay, I mean, Max
5.
Payne is another series that is kind of lost in the culture now.
It is kind of lost, but that was a big Rockstar game.
It was a big deal.
That was a big deal.
I mean, the three, the goggles with the 3 lights. I mean, there's a lot of people who still recognize that.
It was on all platforms, iOS and Android. I don't know
Not
if that was not in 2001.
Not in 2001.
Sorry. It is on iOS and
Yes.
Android currently since 2012.
Cool.
For whatever reason. Anyway,
The best way to experience it.
let me tell you which one I think actually might have got it right. Dice Awards
Okay.
gave it to, some of you might be screaming, but what about Halo Combat Evolved?
Halo Combat Evolved.
Yep.
I mean,
Because 2001 was the year that the Xbox came out.
yeah, Microsoft started their journey there.
Yep.
I mean, and Halo Combat Evolved was cultural. I don't want to say revolution, but it definitely took over.
Yeah.
I mean, in the fact
agree.
where when Halo 2 came out, you had mile-long lines to go get that game.
Yeah.
So, but what other games came out
Yeah.
in 2000? I mean, I know some off the top of my head, but I would love to hear.
Yes, there are a number of big games that I know you'll recognize.
Okay.
Goodness. So there was Grand Theft Auto 3, which is a big game. Ace Combat 4 for people who like the fighter jets.
Yeah.
Oh goodness. I'm in the wrong list. I'm in every single game released currently.
No, probably don't go for that one. Because I know Smash Melee came out in 2001.
Yes.
And that's big. Pikmin came out in 2001.
Capcom versus
SNK2.
SNK2.
Yep, 2001.
Sonic Adventures 2.
On Dreamcast.
Let me confirm. I'm not sure.
I think both those games were on Dreamcast. Capcom versus SNK.
I think they were both Dreamcast games. Was it also on? No, it was Dreamcast. Okay.
Cool.
There was. So this I'll bring up in a second, but there was a Harry Potter game that came out right after the
Sorcerer's
first
Stone
movie.
game?
Yeah.
Okay.
And let me tell you, it was not good.
But you played it.
But I did not, thankfully.
Okay.
No, I knew people who did.
Okay.
It was not good, but it sold 8 million copies.
Man, the millennials
I know.
went crazy.
I know. And you're going to be shocked because I think it was the 4th highest selling game
in 2001.
in 2001.
Didn't win any awards.
No, it did not. It was not a good game.
So.
There's a lot of Castlevania, Circle the Moon, Legend of Zelda, Oracle of Seasons
On the Game Boy Color.
Game Boy Color.
Yeah.
Obviously, you have all the Madden, NBA, 2K, and all that.
Sweet.
Wario Land 4 for the
Game Boy Advance.
Game Boy Advance.
Yep. That's a good one.
Super Mario Advance for the
Game Boy Advance.
Game Boy Advance.
Which was just ported Mario games.
Mega Man
Which one?
Battle Network 2.
Okay.
For the Game
You
Boy
can't just say
Advance.
Mega Man and then throw in a spin-off. Okay.
Civ 3.
Okay.
That's a good one.
Good for Civ.
I don't know. All the other ones feel kind of... I might be missing one or two big ones, but...
Yeah. But really...
Really, that's the ones.
Okay. And then, so that's our list, right, for 2001.
Well, let me give you just like the number one selling game. What do you think it was?
The number one selling
the
game?
number one selling game in 2001.
Oh, gosh. Give me console, please.
Madden NFL 2002.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for the console.
Followed by Grand Theft Auto 3,
Okay.
Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2, and then Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3.
Man. So really you had your sports and skateboard people coming in.
You did. And then
Because the year before is really when the sports craze started in terms of gaming, and then next year really picked up.
Yeah, and the only two to make top 10 from Nintendo was Pokemon Gold Silver and Pokemon Stadium 2.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of sales, Nintendo did horrible during the GameCube era.
Oh, yeah, I know. Which is unfortunate, because GameCube games were so good.
Yeah. It was, I think it was a combo of a lot of different things.
Yeah.
But, you know. I'm just gonna say mine is Melee. I just gotta say it.
Melee.
I think.
But that's not a game of the year type of choice.
Why not?
Because it's not.
Why not?
No. Don't why not me.
You want me to why you?
Yeah.
So
why me? No. Why?
Biggest gaming crossover at the time.
That's fair.
You had your single player, your multiplayer. Not even thinking about competitive, but just single player and the multiplayer.
Yeah.
Super fun. The characters are awesome. The soundtracks are awesome.
Yeah.
The stages, what they did. The game just feels fun to play. It just feels
don't
really
get me
fun.
wrong. I've played Melee. It's fun. It's fine.
Melee's better than Halo. By a long shot.
I don't know about that.
That's the hill I'll die on. Halo Combat Evolved, the first one, you're going to say is better than Super Smash Bros. Melee. A game people are still playing to this day. A lot of people are still playing to this day.
There's still people who play GTA 3, but...
Okay. In what way?
They play it. Just play it.
Just they boot it up and randomly play it. Yeah.
Play it.
Not nearly as many people as Melee.
Well, I don't think the Melee scene is as big as you're making it sound.
It's huge. It's huge.
Couple thousand people?
No.
Couple thousand?
Hundreds of thousands of people.
Hundreds of thousands.
Hundreds of thousands. Yes.
For Melee?
Yes. Still. 23 years after the game.
Okay. Legacy aside, though. Don't look at the legacy.
If you're not looking at legacy, Halo plummets, by the way.
I don't know about that.
Halo plummets, by the way. I played Halo 1 recently. And you know what I was thinking the whole time?
What?
These levels... Alright, there's some good ones. Most of them, the one where you're climbing up this tower and you just go floor after floor after floor of the same exact thing. Floor after floor after floor. It takes so long. It's so boring.
It was... new. It was grand for the time. It was a new console with a new IP with a new game type.
Master Chief's cool.
Yeah,
Cortana's cool.
That's what I'm saying. Just look at it. 2001. I guess the whole point of this segment was it actually it? So
no, I would say no.
I don't know because
Halo 1.
2001 though.
Halo 1.
Yeah, brand new console.
Yeah,
brand new IP. It's exciting, you know?
Melee's exciting.
Well,
Melee was very exciting.
Well.
I can literally show you the video where they announced it in 2000 and they show the trailer, and that's the only thing in that entire room for that conference that got people excited.
I mean, so the bar was
You
set
had people
low anyway.
yelling about Donkey Kong.
So the bar was set low anyway, so...
What? I'm not talking about just Nintendo. I'm not talking about just Nintendo. I'm talking about the whole conference. Everything people had to offer in 2000. And the trailer for Donkey...
I hear what you're saying. But I don't think Melee is a game of the year.
Why? Why can it not be game of the year? Because does it need to be a big story single player game to be game of the year?
Have you seen what every game of the year
the most fun game should be game of the year. Not the thing that pushes the bar the most.
No. Yeah, that's the thing that pushes the bar the most.
No. Yes. Definitely not.
So what you want
the most fun game should win game of the year.
No, it should not.
Yes.
No. Because it is art. It is about more than just was it fun to play. You can have the funnest 30-minute demo in the world that doesn't make it contender for game of the year.
It should be.
No, it shouldn't be.
I think it should. No, I think if you have a short game that is way more fun than anything else on the market, then that should win.
It's like the same thing for film, right? Oppenheimer won because it was a better film than Barbie.
And I would be willing to bet there were mid-budget movies or small-budget movies that came out that told a better story, had better characters, and all that. It had better cinematography.
Okay, no. The mid-budget movie isn't gone for winning stuff. The Shape of Water won, was not a fun movie. Most people didn't like it. Okay. But it was very well done, even if it wasn't very...
And Melee was about as well done as it could get.
I feel like that limits it there.
Sure. All right. The fun aspect should be the first priority. Let me rephrase. Fun should be the first priority, right? in terms of gameplay should feel smooth.
Mm-hmm.
The presentation should be consistent. I'm not going to say it should be pushing the bar in terms of presentation. It should be consistent within itself.
Yeah, but with those criteria, you set the bar for what is Game of the Year material very low. There are hundreds of games that meet that criteria.
And Halo outshines most of those in that criteria.
Yeah, you need something that sets the bar higher than every game that comes out.
Well, not yet. Okay.
Yeah.
That's not every game that comes out.
Obviously, if a game is not fun, it shouldn't even be counted, right?
Uh-huh.
Halo was fun.
Last of Us 2 wasn't really fun.
Okay.
And that still got Game of the Year.
So the reason why it wasn't... I think the game was really good.
But not fun.
Well, it wasn't fun because the story hurt.
Well, besides that, yeah. Okay.
I thought the gameplay was fun. It was the same as the first game.
Sure.
You just hated the character you were playing as. I think once you got over the fact that it was forcing you to play a character you actually kind of wanted to die in the moment, then you would have enjoyed it.
Okay.
Like, I think that's a completely different topic. I think sad is still fun in its own way.
Okay. Good thing this is our Game of the Years. In my world, the game that has the best gameplay that should win. The game that has the best gameplay.
The best gameplay. Yeah. I'm fine with considering best gameplay.
Yeah.
Like,
because to me, gameplay is what makes it fun, and the characters and the presentation.
Yeah.
I know, but for me, the gameplay is what makes a game the most fun. So, like, I don't like a lot of the new gen movie games that are coming, movie games because they're cutscene simulators.
Yeah, and I get that, but movie games also don't generally win because they're not pushing anything new. You're just making a film and putting it down.
Last of Us 2. I think Spider-Man 2 should not have even been nominated.
I completely agree.
That game, I like Spider-Man 1, but I think the cutscenes got dialed up to 11 in Spider-Man 2.
I think with The Last of Us 2, the big thing is it wasn't a cutscene simulator. You played through all of them. Like, it was the dialogue in between, it was everything else.
Or even the new God of Wars and stuff. It's literally hack and slash into cutscenes.
I agree. I think the God of War that won...
And I like hack and slash. Don't get me wrong.
I know. The God of War that won, I think it is character and world development. Right? Like, it was a fun game to play. People enjoyed playing it. It wasn't the most fun game of the year, obviously. But it did something where people would sit down and be like, man, God of War was really good. I really liked the story. I didn't mind the gameplay, you know?
Yeah, but games of the year should be pinnacles of gaming. And I don't think that a lot of the game of the years that we have represent that.
Well, okay, obviously we'll get there when we get there. But I think... I was not rooting for God of War, and I cannot remember what I was rooting for that year.
Ragnarok? Or the original? Or 2018?
Yeah. I cannot remember what else I was rooting for.
In 2018?
Yeah. I'd have to look it up.
Yeah.
But...
That's for a couple episodes from now.
Yeah. There are definitely games where I'm like, the nomination is fine. But I don't necessarily think they should win.
I think nowadays the nominations are for everything besides it being the game. It's everything. It's not. It's for other stuff. It's not about the game. It's not about being a game. It's about all the other stuff.
Well,
right? Am I crazy?
I don't think a bad game should ever win.
Yeah.
You know.
Did I say that?
No.
Okay. Good.
No, you did not say that.
Okay.
I'm just saying you can't. The criteria cannot be universal. It's the same reason why certain things win the Oscars when they weren't the most popular, right? Okay. It's a universal truth when it comes to these awards. Like, if you just said it's purely based on game sales, every single sports game would win every single year. And that's not fun because they don't do anything new.
Yes.
That's the reason why they're never even nominated. So it can't be based off sales. Well, is it based off the highest user review? Well, you're just once again going to pick the...
If you're going by Steam, it's a lot of visual novels.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of visual novels because, people really like the story. They enjoy it. So it can't just be any one of these criteria. You got to take
it's everything. It's everything. And I still think that Melee pushed, even though Halo did push, I think Melee pushed too.
I don't disagree. I think Melee pushed.
Yes, I think the original thing I said where it should just be about the funnest game wins.
Yeah.
That's very subjective, and it's hard to nail that down.
I think the trouble is, and I'm going to look it up here because I might be wrong, but I think the trouble is it didn't sell well in 2001.
Melee?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a party / multiplayer game. I doubt it's getting
So the big thing is, it wasn't even released in America till December of 2001. Mm-hmm. It wasn't even released in Europe or Australia till 2002. It didn't even break 5 million copies till 2006.
It didn't, which is crazy because it's in every college dorm.
Yeah, so like the big thing is, it wasn't super popular till about 2008.
No, I mean, well, define popular.
Popular as in like mainstream popular. Like you have your brawlers and people who enjoy it, right?
Well,
but not
2007 is when Brawl came out. Melee was popular.
2008 was Brawl.
Yeah,
for the Wii.
Yeah, so Melee was popular from its release. Yeah. It's just not like super mainstream.
It did not become GameCube's best-selling title until 2008, literally when Brawl came out.
Okay, so think about, should a multiplayer game be able to win Game of the Year?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
There's a reason why Mario gets nominated almost every single time, is because it's close.
Oh, well, I was thinking like Fortnite or Call of Duty.
No, Fortnite should not.
Why not? Why shouldn't a Fortnite have won?
Why shouldn't Fortnite have
won?
won?
Why not?
Because what is it doing that's truly new? All it's doing is triggering little kids' minds to play longer.
Okay. If there's a really good multiplayer game that comes out, why shouldn't it win Game of the Year?
Okay, so Fortnite, I think very well could have won the first year it was out. Because it was...
Because that's when it would be nominated.
Take that away. I take that away because Fortnite wasn't doing anything new, really. PUBG did the new thing, and PUBG was nominated for Game of the Year.
For Game of the Year?
Yeah.
Dang, I didn't know that.
I believe it was. I could be wrong.
I think you're wrong.
I believe it was.
I don't think they've ever put multiplayer games up there.
Do you want me to look?
No, don't.
Do you want me to look?
We'll be ignorant for now.
Okay, we'll be ignorant for now. I believe it was. I could be wrong.
Mm-hmm. Because when a multiplayer game can't be Game of the Year because a multiplayer game usually doesn't have the other things that make a game the game. So the multiplayer game has the gameplay, but doesn't necessarily have the story or the character direction.
I believe PUBG was for the reason that it was pushing what was a new genre of gaming. Okay. Because now everybody's thriving off the backs of PUBG. Okay, but does it need to be a new?
If someone perfects
you're pushing the bounds of something new.
If someone perfects the battle royale genre, which no one's done. No. If someone perfects it, that should win Game of the Year.
Well, yeah.
If there's no
if it's ever perfected, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I completely agree.
But but I would say under the criteria that is used, it wouldn't. Well, it wouldn't get it because there's no story, there's no cutscenes, there's, it's like that's the thing. I think I'm saying.
Well, okay, but look at.
We're talking about games.
I know, but look at some of the games of the year that we have picked. Like what did I just say today? Halo, obviously. Mm-hmm. But you look at like we were saying last time, like you have games like Gran Turismo. There's no cutscenes. That's just a racing sim.
It's a racing sim.
GoldenEye 007. There's kind of cutscenes, not really though.
Yeah.
Like Ocarina of Time. There's some cutscenes, but once again, that's mostly gameplay. I mean, I know there's a story.
Yes. I think I went a bit into the future.
The Sims is completely... Yeah. So,
yes. I'm way too far in the future.
Yes.
For 2001, that probably was not an issue that they were thinking about.
Didn't... The like couples game where you play...
Couples game?
Yeah, like you and your significant other play this game.
It Takes Two?
It Takes Two.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, that's a multiplayer game. I don't remember if it won. It was nominated.
That's a co-op game, not a multiplayer
I don't remember if it won. It was nominated, though.
It won.
It won?
Okay. Yeah, it won.
So...
That's a co-op game.
What do you...
I'm determining multiplayer as... It's the game... The game's like...
Like you're talking like COD or something? Because COD has one.
A multiplayer... Alright, there's a co-op game, which is a game that has a story and all that you run through with another person.
Yeah.
Then there's your multiplayer games, which are games where you're playing either against other people...
But Call of Duty has one Game of the Year.
Which Call of Duty won Game of the Year?
I do not remember, but I know it has.
Okay. Then that... Sure. But did it win because it's multiplayer, or did it win because of the campaign?
probably a mix of both because
Probably,
you're counting it all together, right?
Yeah.
Like, as soon as Call of Duty stopped putting in their campaigns, obviously they weren't being nominated as much, but the campaigns were never why you bought Call of Duty.
There's a lot of people who bought Call of Duty for the campaigns.
That's insane to me to pay $60 to play 4
Well, think
hours
about,
of
like,
campaign.
the older Call of Duties. People bought World at War for the campaign.
Well, okay,
Modern Warfare 1 for the campaign.
I agree. World at War was probably one of the best campaigns out there, and Modern Warfare 1. I get that. That's completely fair.
Yes. I think, all right, I have refined my opinion.
Okay.
Refined my opinion.
Yep.
For 2001, this just doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But I get frustrated when I see games that have genuinely good gameplay get shafted by something that feels like a movie.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
And that's fair. And that's something we can talk about later. Like, at the end of this year, I think my game of the year is going to be a game that doesn't necessarily look the best.
Yep.
But I had probably the best gameplay I've played so far this year.
Which one are you feeling?
Yellow Taxi Goes Vroom, a game you have never heard of.
I watched you play it.
You watched me play it?
I did.
I did a bit of speedrunning for it too.
Yep.
But it's genuinely love that game.
Yeah, Game of the year.
But we'll get there when we get there. Maybe something.
Are DLCs nominated?
That I don't know.
Because
if DLCs are nominated, then
Elden Ring, but
that's probably what would win if they are.
Yeah.
But we're talking about 2024.
Yeah.
Going back to 2002, I'm still dying on. I'm still 2001.
Yes.
I'm still dying on the hill that I think Melee is the game of the year.
What did? The trouble I have is it wasn't released to as much acclaim as the other ones.
Well, that's why we're talking about in hindsight, and why we have why we're the authority, because we know.
Did it release all the characters right away?
It didn't have DLC.
Not DLC, but.
What do you mean?
I don't know what I mean.
What are you talking about?
I don't know.
It's a GameCube game.
I didn't play it in 2001. I played it in like 2010.
There weren't any updates. It had all the characters at launch.
Okay. I don't know. Like,
you would say Halo, I imagine, right? Halo 1.
Well, the struggle is I think my perception of Halo 1 is altered by my perception of the later Halo games, which I adore.
I think Halo 1 is not that good.
That's fair. The trouble
by today's standards.
No, I know.
By today's standards.
I know, by today's standards. And that's fine, and I know Melee has lived on because it is truly a game that if you can look past the slightly outdated graphics, it functions well. It is a very well-built game.
Functions very well.
Yes, I know. But it has to, because that's the genre.
Yeah, because it's gameplay.
Yep. I don't know. I just think, like, cultural significance in the year of, not necessarily,
Okay.
going forward. Because don't get me wrong, if there was, like, a legacy award, I think it gets it.
Yeah.
Like, without a doubt. I think it beats Halo. Just with the dedication of the fan base. There's some rabid Halo fans, but you know what I mean.
Yes.
I completely agree. I think Melee, I think Brawl, I think Ultimate, you put those all together, that is a legacy package that...
Well, you're just talking about Melee.
No, I know, but I think it spawned a legacy.
Melee gameplay, more fun than Halo gameplay. The way that the characters look and sound and feel.
They look a lot better.
Better than Halo.
I agree.
Better than Halo.
I know.
I was playing Halo 1 and I could barely hear what the characters were saying.
Okay, well...
What was going on in that game? Well, I know it's about, I know what's actually going on in that game. I know what's going on, but it's like you're driving around.
The struggle I have is, do I think that it's a better game? I think Halo is not the better game. So, I agree with you there.
Okay.
Just like baseline. But Game of the Year is more than just what's the better game.
Which is crazy.
Why?
Shouldn't the best game just win? Why shouldn't the best game be Game of the Year?
Because it's more than just best game. It's sales. It's consumer impact. It's all of that.
But aren't all those just metrics to point to what's the best game?
Yeah.
So it's just it's the best game.
But then Halo wins those metrics.
Okay, those are that's a part of it.
But that's what I'm saying is in the year 2001, Melee was not the best game.
Are we doing this to determine what was the best game in 2001, or are we determining what's the best game in 2001?
Fine. Melee is a better game.
Okay,
Fine.
You can call Halo your game of the year. That's fine. I'm calling Melee my game of the year.
That's fine.
Of 2001.
I think the BAFTAs picked the wrong games.
I think we can agree. Let's start hating on the BAFTAs again.
Let's hate on the BAFTAs again. I think they...
All right, Gran Turismo 3 is good.
It is good. So is Max Payne, actually. I don't think his game of the year good, but...
Max Payne was also good.
It was.
If you're talking about cultural relevance,
I know.
it was up there.
Max Payne was really good.
But, I mean, they should have gone with Halo, too.
I think they should have.
And both of them should have gone for Melee. But, whatever.
Well, I think console... Yeah, console Melee beats Gran Turismo 3 in my opinion. I see no reason why Gran Turismo 3 is picked over Melee, other than Melee wasn't released in the EU until 2002
with the PAL version.
Yep.
The Brits didn't even have it.
Yep.
Sorry, guys.
They don't even pick that.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense then.
Yeah.
Them. So never mind.
So it really is just the US.
Did they have Halo? They had to have Halo.
Actually.
If they had Halo, what were they doing?
Actually, they might not have had Halo.
Okay, so...
Halo might have just been in the US at that time.
Because... You sure,
yeah,
Marcus?
EU, March 14th, 2002.
Dang.
So they didn't even have Halo.
So never mind, BAFTAs.
Yeah, fine. BAFTA,
Sorry.
You picked your choice based on your area.
And that's, the decision you made for what you had.
That makes sense.
Good job.
You know what? I will accept that Gran Turismo 3 was probably their best game of the year.
Yeah, and BAFTAs, we apologize deeply for the comments made earlier.
Yeah.
Unbeknownst to us, you do not have Halo or Smash Bros.
Or Smash. So fine, you know what? You're okay. BAFTAs, you made the right choice with what you had.
This year.
In 2001.
In 2001.
We'll talk about 2002 next time.
Yeah.
As for DICE... I think you're persuading me. I think you're genuinely persuading me that... I think that it's a better game. Melee. I think it's a better game. I think if we're looking at this retrospectively, which game was better? I think it was Melee.
Okay.
And I'll
because we are saying we are looking at the games from the year.
Yes.
And we're like, what was the best game?
Yeah. No,
that is what we are doing.
I agree.
We did not.
Yes.
We are not in 2001.
I think the trouble I have is I understand the choice for Halo.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Based on everything.
I would never bash them.
It's not as clear cut as some of the other ones where it's like this should not have won anyway. Mm-hmm. I completely agree. Melee is a better game here.
Yes. Cool. You know what Melee did great, by the way?
What?
Character unlocks.
Yeah?
Yeah. You don't really unlock things in games anymore.
No, you don't really.
Which is sad. I kind of miss that. And I think it's appealing to the people who don't have too much time to play and unlock stuff.
Yeah.
Or even if you're thinking about like the old Call of Duties where you don't have all the guns active.
Yeah, the trouble is unlocks really benefit a skill-based game. It does not benefit other like arcadey games.
I think it could.
Cosmetics. I know it. Well, cosmetics is some. Well.
Oh, okay. All right. That's different. That's different.
Hold on. I can't remember which game just came out. Whether it was the new Need for Speed or the new Forza or something like that.
Okay.
And what they did is they locked cosmetics and paints in the game you paid for behind these in-game goals and criteria.
I love that.
And people were super upset because it would take them 200 to 300 hours to get a cosmetic for their single-player game.
Yeah. Well, all right. Is it one cosmetic or all the cosmetics?
It was the cosmetics had locks on them.
Yeah. So, but how long does it take per cosmetic? If it's not 200 to 300 hours to get a single cosmetic.
No, but what people want to do in a lot of single-player games is, and I guess it depends on the game, right? There are some games where that progression makes sense. Mm-hmm. But there are also some games where it's like, I paid for a game. Why can't I just make my character look how I want?
Just play the game and you can get those options. That's a great goal to look towards, and then you'll feel great when you get there.
The trouble is when it's an arcade game and you have to put 200, 300, 400 hours to be able to paint your car.
Yeah, but if it's like, I would need to see the specific cosmetics, I would say, because if they're lame old Call of Duties had. All right, well that's a competitive. Game. All right,
that was to show your skill.
Yes, or even character unlocks and stuff like that. It's kind of to the wayside now, which I think we could bring those back.
Character unlocks I like. I like character unlocks.
Now, let me get this straight. So if we're talking about Smash, Melee, the criteria to unlock characters was very different than it was to unlock characters in Ultimate. In Ultimate, you just played like 5 games, you unlock a new character.
It's every 10 minutes,
Every
or
10
8 minutes.
Yeah, something like that. Melee was like, you need to beat Classic Mode as Link, and you'll get Young Link, or something like that. Or you beat all the characters, break the targets, and you get Mr. Game & Watch.
Interesting.
Play 24 combined hours of time, you unlock Mewtwo. That's the thing. I think that style of unlock in single-player games... In arcade games specifically are very cool. Because I still think you're interacting with the community even in arcade games. They're like, hey, I got the 300-hour Forza car paint. And people are like, wow, you got it. That's so cool. It's like, yeah, I'm still working on it, you know. That should still be there. I'm not saying everything should be like that because that's dumb.
I know.
But there should still be your high achievement unlocks.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think there's progression systems, makes sense, right?
Yes.
But in a game that promotes sandbox, you should let them have sandbox.
Well, it depends on the mode, I would say. If you're in in a sandbox mode, then sure, give them everything. But if it's I'd say if you're just playing through a Forza game and you're doing missions and stuff.
Well, but Forza's always had career in sandbox.
Yeah.
If you have sandbox mode, then the sandbox mode.
Sandbox, I mean, is specifically God mode and that sort of stuff. I'm not thinking of, all right, I don't know. I had a different definition.
Yeah.
I think unlocks are completely fine because it gives you goals.
I don't.
And we should go back to them.
I don't dislike unlocks. Unlocks are fine.
I think it's so cool to unlock a new character and for competitive things all right.
Yeah.
When it comes to competitive things, here's my opinion. Usually Call of Duty has a competitive mode.
Yep.
All guns should be available. All perks should be available for that competitive mode.
Yep.
If you're just going to play free for all or TDM on casual, do your prestige, do your level up system, have guns locked out. It's it's play to win, not pay to win.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Skill based games should 100% be play to win all the time.
And if you go too far on that, you get a Battlefront 2 situation with the cards.
Yes.
So you need to be careful you don't go into that territory. Yep. But the unlock should be you either do a specific challenge or you play enough where you unlock that cosmetic character, gun, item, whatever.
That makes sense. I get that. The big thing is I always have thought that unlocks are more of an onboarding process than anything else. It
can be both.
It gets scary when unlocks are the reason you keep playing. Because then you get into the battle pass situation. That is the logical step that people have taken.
Yes, and that I think all right, in this hypothetical thing where your unlocks are back for your items or characters or whatever, it should not be contained to a battle pass.
I agree. The problem is
it's going to be. It's going to be.
Most games have unlocks currently. It's just a battle pass.
Yeah, Multiverses has all their characters locked, and you can't even well, I think you can play them in training mode now. But at the second launch, you couldn't even play them in training mode. And to unlock them, you either had to wait for them to be on the free rotation, or you had to use a currency or whatever, and you could either get that through the battle pass or by playing it a lot.
Well, it's like the games where they release a new character, and they're totally busted in OP.
Yes.
But you can unlock them early in the battle pass.
Yes.
For everyone else, they come out 3 weeks later when they've been nerfed.
It depends if there's a competitive mode or not, is what I
know. It's things like...
Because then what's the difference between that and a DLC character that you buy?
Nothing. It's the exact same thing.
Yeah.
I feel just as
M. Bison is raging through Street Fighter 6 right now, and there are people that don't want to drop $30 on his character pass.
Yeah, I think that's ridiculous.
They got to deal with it.
Your character should be balanced when you release it. I understand it's the money, right? He's going to be a little bit more powerful on release if people want to buy him.
Yes.
Help your grind a little bit, but...
Yeah. I think what I'm missing is, wacky challenges to unlock something.
Yeah,
because
I agree.
now that's not there.
No, yeah.
Or I definitely don't feel like it is.
It's not really. Some games do it.
Going for Dark Matter and Black Ops 3 was one of my most fun experiences playing Call of Duty, period. Going for diamond guns in Black Ops 2, stuff like that,
Yeah, there are games that still do it. They're just not... It's not mainstream anymore.
Yeah, which is a shame.
Because the Battle Pass is.
Yeah, so now it's about the Battle Pass. And
yep.
getting the seasonal skins and stuff like
Yep.
that. So, you know, which over the long term as a business move,
It's
it's better. You get people back every season.
Yep. If you're free to play, go for it.
Yeah.
If you're not, keep your
Black
battle
Ops 4,
pass out.
Black Ops 4, I hope has a more traditional level
I
up
hope
system.
so, too.
They're going back to the normal prestige way,
Yep.
so that's encouraging.
It is.
But we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Anyway,
I know.
unfortunately, I think we've reached the end of today's episode.
Oh boy.
Yep.
I
but
think so.
thanks for watching, everyone. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Please let us know if Melee is better than Halo, because I know people will probably have opinions about that.
Yep.
But it's a better game, I'm sorry to say. Halo 1 mission is kind of boring.
Yeah.
Halo 1 mission is kind of boring.
Drop any questions in the comments. We'll likely answer them.
Oh, yeah. And if you have any suggestions for topics to talk about later, please let us know. We will look at those and consider them.
Absolutely.
Just consider, though.
Yeah. No promises from us.
All right. You guys have a great day. See you.
Bye.